Welcome back to the channel for episode 11. My name is Denny, and today I'm taking you with me on a shoot for a kind of short film commercial. We'll talk about how to manage a project from start to finish. From generating the idea, to finding actors, location, camera angles, to create lighting diagram, through shooting and post-production. The complete process to making a narrative scene. As usual, we'll analyze how the lighting is done, and after that, we'll talk about my simple color grading process. So yep, let's watch the scene.
Excuse me, sir. I need your help.
What's the matter, son?
You see, I can't find the solution to my problem. I've searched for days and days. You see, I'm obsessed with the film look. I tried everything to make my videos look like film, but it doesn't feel quite right. That's why I need you to investigate this.
Listen, kiddo. I know your feeling. I know you want your videos to look like film. I mean, all my favorite movies were shot on film too. But I'm not going to investigate on it.
You're not?
Because there is no need to. I mean, everybody knows that the answer is the answer. Everything is in this plugin. True film print emulation, halation, bloom, grain, everything. All you need to achieve that authentic analog film aesthetic. It's all in there. And you know what? There is even an iOS version.
No, I can't believe this. No, is it really that simple?
It is simple. It's actually the simplest. You don't need to be a colorist to use it. You know what? Just go to dehancer.com and use the promo code Denny for a 10% discount.
Denny, right? Yeah.
You can go now.
Now?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, thank you. Thank you.
Alright, so Dehancer contacted me to ask if I could talk about them. And I said, yeah, of course, because I wanted their plugin for a long time already, and I know that so many people are looking for film emulation, so it could help them. But the thing was that I really don't want to do shoutouts anymore, because I don't like it. And in the back of my mind, I had this idea to present my sponsors in another way, a way that other YouTubers wouldn't do, which is in a narrative commercial / short film form. And I thought, well, this is interesting because I could use those scenes to do cinematography breakdown of them and show you how to achieve similar results. Let me know in the comment section if this is something you find interesting, because I think that's something I'll do from now on that can be like my personal touch. For the idea, I thought, how can I introduce Dehancer? And I remembered the young myself, the long hours I spent on YouTube looking for how to simulate the film look. So, by placing myself in the shoes of the guy who might need Dehancer, I told myself that life would be easier if I could just ask someone how to do it instead of searching during long nights. So I developed this idea about asking a detective to find the secret for the perfect film emulation. I think it's important that the potential customer can identify himself in the actor. And of course, no investigation will be needed, as everybody knows that the answer is the answer. Let me know what you think about this joke, because actually not everybody on my team was hyped about it. But I can say that I certainly was. As well as the iOS joke, I just love it. Alright, now that the idea is clear, the first thing I needed to find was great actors. I started with my friend Nico, who was like the main actor most of the time, that I met on a short film I was the DP on. Then I needed a young man to play the other role. So I posted an announcement online where I said that I needed an actor for my YouTube channel. I received a lot of emails. That's when I selected Diego, and I'm glad I did because I really loved his acting and his energy. So don't hesitate to put your need out there. There are plenty of actors that would work for cheap or even for free if they're available and passionate about filmmaking. Sometimes they need images for their showreel as well, or just experience. So it's win-win. Now that I have the most important, I like to create a mood board by taking pictures from movie. I use Shot Deck for this, but there are many others that can do the job. With a mood board, you can show it to your team, so everybody's on the same page and know what we're going after. It makes the images you have in your mind more clear about what you want and what you don't want. So now I know what I want my scene to look like. So next step, I need a cool place to shoot, as in those images. Usually I search on Airbnb, that's like the main place to look for location, or sometimes I could just ask people around me if they have access to some special places. Actually, the easiest method is to write stories that takes place in location that you already have access to. Imagine your family has a restaurant, maybe write a story about something that takes place in a restaurant. Actually, it helps you bring the ideas into the real world. Because imagine you write something that takes place, I don't know, in a space shuttle. Well, we can already say that your film may likely never be doable. For this scene, I planned on doing it in my apartment, just here. But when I met my friend Nico for a coffee, he told me that he knew this amazing vintage place that fits totally the mood. Except that it was a mess, so we had to clean it all up and remove some furniture. I must say that he did all the work in order to be able to keep every file in the right place. He was very precise about it and took pictures of everything before moving anything. It's a very important thing to be cautious about other people's stuff and to leave the shooting place the same way it was before the shooting. Because if you don't, maybe next time the person is not going to allow any other people to shoot there. So you might be running possibilities for other filmmakers in your area. And it's not cool, man. Not cool. So always take care of your location and be nice. Next step, you have to form a team of cool people. Because no man is an island and you need help to make things move fast. I think this is actually the most important, to have people you can laugh with and trust with the work. And the more you work with them, the more they know exactly what you want and what you like. So it means less time lost on set. Nothing can beat a teamwork. When everybody has a role and knows exactly what to do, things run more smoothly. Then the last step of pre-production will be to know what are going to be your coverage, your camera angles, and where the lights are going to be. So this is called lighting diagram. It's a visual representation of where lights and camera are going to be. This is a top view of the room. Based on the pictures of the location, I already know I will be shooting from this side, toward the window, like this. I want a little bit of window in the frame to motivate my light. So I know my lights are coming from this direction. The camera will be here for the detective, as I want to have the window in the shot, as I just said, and I want at all costs avoid this heating system. We're also shooting into the shadow side of the actor's face and into the corner of the room for more depth. The camera will be here for the wide shot, with the doors frame in the shot to add depth and interest. And the camera here for the reverse shot, shadow side as well. The room is actually very dark, so I know I will need ambient bounce here coming from this direction, a key light coming from here, same direction as the natural light, a hard light here blasting through the Venetian blinds to make a pattern on the wall behind the actor. We're adding a negative fill on this side as well, then a practical here for color contrast, and a pivot tube here motivated by the practical. For the reverse shot, we would reverse the key, the negative fill, the Venetian blind light, and we would add a kicker light in here to separate him from the background. And the last step, we would add some A's in the room. Camera setting wise, I know I want to shoot at f2.8 to have a shallow depth of field, because as you can see, we have a lot of stuff inside the room and I don't want them to be too much distracting to the eye. That's it for pre-production. So we are on set now, day of shoot. First step, we take care of the production design. Production design is one of the most important things in cinematography. I would say it's even more important than your camera or your lens actually. Because you could have an array with the best lenses of the world. If your production design looks bad, you will never have good images. So try to think about it if you want to have better frames. Adrien is setting up the camera and the wireless gear, while Sly and Kevin take care of the Venetian blinds with a very pole, because there's no good detective movies without Venetian blinds. Of course, as the cinematographer, you get to do nothing while people are working. As you can see, avoiding the heating system was a pain, so here I'm searching for the right spot for the camera. For those projects on the channel, I'm the director as well, so I take some time with my actors. And as you can see it on my face, I don't enjoy at all filmmaking. I don't like it. For the lighting breakdown, we started with a negative fill for contrast on its shadow side, facing the camera. Then we added the Zhiyun Modus 500B at 100%, bouncing here on the wall, just to create some ambient light coming from the same direction as the natural window. Next, we have the Nanlite 500B on this little one-stand booklight, just outside the frame. I clamped a Mattellini clamp on the leg of the C-stand, with the lamp bouncing into the poly, which is then diffused, which gives us a soft light. The lamp was like at 10%, I believe. Then Kevin added a hard light with a Fresnel lens, punching through the blinds. But as the light wasn't far away enough, we didn't get the pattern on the wall. Our plan wasn't working, so I asked him to use a 200-watt cob with a spotlight mount and the Venetian blinds gobbo to project it on the wall here. But in my opinion, the power of it was too strong. But if I could do it again, I would probably bring it way down to be more subtle. But hey, now we have our pattern on the wall. Then the practical. But it wasn't strong enough, so we added a power tube with a grid just next to the lamp, and we put a double diffusion, yes, this mess you can see here, just on the top half of the power tube, to simulate the shape of the lamp. Because you see, with this shape, it will never light all the actor's face. So we're simulating this by lighting only a portion of his face. I could have gone with lighting only the body, but I like to embrace the kind of imperfection there's in real life. So I went with only lighting this portion of his face. In my opinion, when things are too perfect, it becomes less realistic, as real life isn't perfect. And of course, we added a little bit of haze. Oh yeah, we opened this closet just behind him to bring a little bit of depth in the shot. So here you can see every step. The negative fill is already in place, then ambient bounce, booklight as a key, Venetian blinds pattern on the wall, practical, and the power tube. For the wide shot, nothing has changed lighting wise. We just turned a little bit the booklight so both actors will be lit by it. And of course, you know it, haze. Then for the reverse shot, I asked Kevin to bring another power tube for a kicker light on Diego. Now for the background, the Venetian blinds were too much on the wall, so we decided to kill it and to shine directly a hard light on the wall here. And placed a plant just in front of the light to create some textures here, and some light variation on the wall. We opened the door here for more depth, but it was dark, so we took a practical with an aperture B7C bulb on it. We decided to keep the lamp on frame as foreground to again create depth. So every step, neg and ambient light already in place, booklight, light on the wall, practical behind the door, practical on the desk with the little flare that I liked, and a kicker light. And guess what? Haze, of course. Yeah, that's it, we have everything there. Now, post-production time. After the editing comes the part that usually takes a lot of time. What is it? Yeah, we have to find the right music to it. one of the hardest parts, as you probably already know. And I found what I needed with audio. And you can find the link below for 70% off your first year of Audio Pro. So first, a kind of suspense ambient music. And then a more funny one, to match the tone change. And for the audio mixing, my dad was in charge, so this was easy. Now the last step, the color grading. What you have to know is that I'm not really a good colorist, and actually I'm not a colorist at all. That's why I use simple tricks that prove to work over time, that I know that I can repeat for almost each project, simply because I'm no good at it. And if you're not good either, and you don't want to spend months or years to become a master colorist, stay with me for this little trick. Of course, if you have the budget, always hire someone with the job. But if you don't have the budget, then this is a great tool. Alright, we are in DaVinci Resolve. We shot in B-roll the whole thing, so we can change the ISO and the white balance if we want. But usually I like to have everything done on set, and don't like to fix it in post. But I mean, it's always nice to have the possibility to do it. First node, we go for a little denoise, as Dehancer advised to do it before the film emulation. Then a little color boost on the second node. Next, I like to do a little power window on my actor. I don't change nothing on this one, but you right click on it and go to Add Outside Node. On this one, we are going to take a little bit of contrast out of the image. And I turn down the offset, so the eye focuses more on the actor than the rest of the image. I mean, that's something I do almost on every project, and even here it's the case. Then I create a new node, and I add a layer node. I change the composite mode of this on overlay, and on the bottom node I turn off the saturation. So I have a black and white image. Now I created a kind of bleach process that adds contrast and removes some saturation. It's a process done in the movie 7, for example. But this is too strong, so we're coming here to lower the power of it. We're going for a subtle move, so 0.15 looks right to me. And next is where the magic takes place. It's with this node that you'll be able to stylize your shot without any knowledge of how true colorists are doing it. It's easy and reachable to everybody. So we use Dehancer, we choose our film stock. After trying some, I went with this one, Portra 160. And I already have my 4 favorites that I know I can use. On this video, I believe I'm using the CineStyle 50D. I don't want this to be too strong, so I'm lowering here. In output, I'm going for 80%. As we can see, the film is lowering my levels. I'm verifying this by going in monitor and use the false color REE. Now, if I disable my film emulation, we can see the shift. I turn it back on and I go in the exposure compensation and take it up to 0.6 to come back to my initial levels, which looks like a good exposition to me. I take the false color off now, I enable film print, and I use the Kodak glossy paper, which is the one I like the most. I mean, you just have to try to discover your own taste. Then I add a little bit of grain. I go for the finer grain I can. So 65mm, ISO 50. Then I custom it, I turn chroma off, and I reduce the amount. I want it to be subtle. I don't want it to look like a 16mm film. Then I turn halation on, 35mm, no ramjet at 100%. Again, find what you like with the custom button. I won't use the bloom, as I already had a black promised 1/4 on the lens. I like film damage, so I go with 35mm. And the last thing, I change the quality on high-slow for the best quality. And that's it. Only a few nodes that I repeat on almost every project. I just tweak them, but the note structure stays the same. As I said, I'm not much of a colorist, so for me this works really well, and I hope it does for you too. So don't forget the promo code Denny for a 10% discount on dehancer.com. So yeah, that's it. We've talked about every steps. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the episode and about the commercial. As usual, if you want to help the channel grow, you can subscribe, like and comment to help with the algorithm. It will be much appreciated. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Ciao!